Let's find out if you are a straight white man or not.
Why? Why is this for me?
I just want to figure it out.
I am straight. I am. There's like no way to say
We're
that.
We're going to figure that out. We're going to figure that out.
Yeah. No, you rigged this and you're going to make me look like I'm not. I have a girlfriend for about 2 years now. I'm there, Brian. Why do people think?
Why are you so defensive?
Because I see the comments sometimes. It's like people are like, oh, of course, Zach.
I think you need to stop being so defensive about it.
Yeah.
I think you have to be like, oh, yeah, I'm straight. Yeah.
I am straight.
Are you white?
I am white.
Are you a man?
I am a man.
Oh, you should answer yes to these.
Oh, no, Brian, I'm a man.
Okay. If you answer yes to most of these questions, then you are probably a straight white man.
Yeah, I'm going to pass with flying colors.
Really?
Now, flying's a little...
Whoa, okay. Might be a little crooked white man. All right. Have you ever thought about starting a podcast?
I have. Yes.
We have a podcast.
Yeah, we have a podcast.
I think a lot of straight white men like to think about starting podcasts.
I like to say we're the stereotypical two best friends start a podcast in a basement. That's been my new go-to line.
We are the stereotypical straight white male podcast.
Yeah, completely.
Literally what people talk about is what we do.
Yeah.
Have you ever used 3-in-1 body wash, shampoo / conditioner?
Yeah, I used to. I've changed. I've migrated. I used to not use face wash. It was a big thing.
We used to go on vacation together, and I knew that you used that because that's what was in the shower.
Yeah.
Therefore, I used it by association.
Yes, you did.
I don't think I've ever owned one, but I've used it because you've had it.
Yeah, it's like the blue bottle. It had the little 3-in-1 like circle on it. I think Nivea or something. Correct. I don't know.
So you're 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Straight white man.
Yeah.
Incoming. Do you have a receding hairline?
That I do.
That he does, folks.
What are we doing here? Come on.
This was on a website. It wasn't me.
This was a website, or are you just trying to grill into me?
It was on
I
BuzzFeed.
picked the question on the website for baldness because that's funny because Zach's straight, white, and male.
And bald. Are you straight?
Tough. I got that. With the haircut, it definitely looks better, but we're
looks
approaching.
not bad.
Hat hair, too.
So 3 for 3. Straight white man incoming.
Okay.
Do you have a strong brand loyalty to a specific beer?
Oh, yes. I will take Miller Lite any day of the week. That's my loyalty. Anytime it's available. You got Coors, Bud Light, Budweiser. It doesn't matter. I'm taking Miller.
I think I would take Miller Lite too. I used to be a Yuengling guy, but I've switched over to the light. Save a little calories.
I'm also like totally in on Guinness.
Yeah.
Big on Guinness. Like if I go to the bar, that's the go-to drink.
It's a different vibe though, because if you're out in the summer, you're not going to get a Guinness at a beach bar.
No. It has to kind of be cold, maybe a little fall weather. It's perfect.
Okay, so 4 for 4 with the straight white male test.
I'm as straight as they come.
Do you often talk about high school sports? Your high school sports?
Not like super often, but like I will reflect back. Like I remember like rec basketball games from high school, even middle school, that I could recall the exact plays, moments. Of course I can.
I think that's a solid yes.
I think if you're our age and you're reflecting back, it could be kind of sad. But at the same time, it's like, no, we're just relishing in the limelight, you know? Relive the glory days.
Relishing.
Relish.
Relish? Is that the right word?
Relishing. I don't know. I don't say anything right anymore.
I know relish is a...
I think I'm getting dumber as I get older.
You know, I went to Easter yesterday and everyone was like, is Zach actually that dumb? I was like, he's actually very smart. Like he does our taxes and everything. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, he's kind of dumb.
I've lost it. I feel like I used to be sharper in those other categories and I feel like I've lost it.
All right, so you're 5 for 5. 2 more. Have you ever had empty liquor bottles as apartment decor?
Oh, freshman year?
Yeah.
That's when we started drinking.
Fair.
Might not have been legal.
Okay,
No, I didn't go to college.
It's like 90% of America.
No, I know. But we had a graveyard. We call it the graveyard.
Yeah.
It was like every single liquor that we tried because we just started drinking. So we're like, okay, let's put it up there and have like this kind of wall and moment that could commemorate the good times.
Very straight, white, and male of you.
Yeah, Ciroc.
A lot of... Ciroc. That's a big baller move.
Well, it was more of like, okay, someone would get us a bottle and then you try it.
It was more like, what's the one that starts with a B?
The one that I used to drink?
Burnett's?
Oh, Burnett's, yes.
Burnett's was cheap.
There was Wave.
I had Mad Dog at Rutgers.
Yeah.
Shout out Rutgers.
Yeah, shout out RU.
All right, 6 for 6. So let's see if you can clean sweep 7 for 7. Do you love Guy Fieri?
Oh, of course I do. Flavortown, baby.
Every straight white man loves
Diners,
him.
drive-ins, and dives.
I think everyone in general loves him.
I mean, he's the man. Like, he set an expectation on Food Network.
For straight white men.
For straight white men.
I would love to be him.
Yeah.
If I could switch lives with a celebrity, he would be in my top 50.
Ooh, really?
Probably.
Well, top 50 is like kind of relatively light,
Any
right?
celebrity ever?
I guess. That's a phenomenal question.
Top 50, I think he would
Should we
fall.
map out like one time like our top
Yes.
50 celebrities we'd like to switch lives with?
We should.
See how many commonalities we got?
I like that.
I'll write it down. Maybe.
Write it down. Jot it down.
When I'm editing this, Zach, make the note.
Make the note, Zach. All right, podcast 129.
129. We're approaching 130.
What updates do we have?
We have a live show going on in Asbury.
July 26th.
We've sold 15 tickets.
I think we sold more yesterday because my family bought some at Easter.
Okay, cool.
So we're probably up to like 20, 25.
Yes. But there's only 250 tickets for this one.
I think we're going to sell out.
Well, if it's anything like last time, we got 300 people there. So,
yes.
And this is our hometown. This is the home show. So I think we're going to sell it out. So get your tickets now.
I know we're going to sell it out.
I know too.
It'll probably sell out a little later.
Just imagine like the 2-week period before when we're going out by the shore and we're handing out flyers and everything. People are going to buy them. And
we need new special guests.
Yes.
I would like to have the Rizzle there again. So we'll see if that's possible. But new special guests, maybe like Sally Slices, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Jumo.
I figured we could get Jumo out.
We could definitely get Jumo out. We could get some people from New Jersey.
Yeah, keep it local. Keep it fresh.
If you guys have any ideas for you guys who you want us to have at the live show, put it in the comments.
Yeah, and that'll be a good one. And then there's
Jersey Joe.
Jersey Joe.
Maybe we could get Jersey Joe.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Oh, my goodness.
That would be fun.
Yep. I'll text him.
All right, Jersey Joe.
Text him. Hey, Zach, when you're editing this, text Jersey Joe.
Mental note.
And other than that, I don't think there's any crazy updates. I mean, by the time this releases, the following week, I'll be in Portugal.
And it'll be your birthday the next week.
And it'll be my birthday, yes. I can't believe my birthday's in 9 days. Did your birthday feel like your birthday this year?
No.
Like, I feel like it's just sneaking up on me, and I'm, like, not ready for it.
It snuck up on me, yes, and I wasn't ready for it. But when we went out to Ale House, that was one of the most fun nights I've ever had at Ale House. I don't know why. There were so many people there.
Yeah.
It was great.
A ton of people on a Thursday night, right?
It was a great Thursday night, yeah.
Very fun, very fun. And and for our birthdays this month, I'll say what we never say in these videos. Drop a like right now. Drop a comment.
Yeah.
If you're on Spotify, go share this podcast with one of your friends. That's all I want for my birthday. To grow the channel, grow the brand.
Grow the channel.
So we're excited. Is anything else?
I think we're good.
All right, we're good. Okay, I have a topic.
I think we're good.
Okay. The internet is torn over Google Maps and Apple Maps. Which do you use?
I use the Maps app that came with my iPhone, so Apple Maps.
Okay, so that is Apple Maps.
Yes, I use Apple Maps.
So the internet there's a big debate recently. They can't decide which one's better and which ones people use.
Well, you're a Waze guy.
I am a Waze guy, so I don't really count in this argument, but I use Google Maps preferably over Apple for different things.
I don't have the Google Maps app.
A lot of people who have iPhones don't. So I'm going to give you perks for each. You're going to tell me which one you'd rather use.
Let's do it.
So the argument for Google Maps. It's been in the map game longer. There's more information in there, especially in low population rural areas.
Well, I don't really travel to those, so we'll leave that out.
But places that are a little bit more niche, small.
Yeah. Hamburg, Pennsylvania.
I'm sure the Google Maps there are great.
Yeah.
It's integrated into Google Search and Google Reviews. So the reviews are directly in the platform.
Yeah, so that's the only issue I have with Apple Maps is when I Google places and I press directions, it'll open up another tab to Google Maps and not Apple Maps.
Yeah, it's all within the same platform. Yeah. Plus the reviews on Google Maps, I think, are better.
Okay, that's fair.
It's more reliable. Public transportation is better on Google Maps. Like the train times and all kind of those public transportation.
I haven't had issues with Apple Maps because whenever I go to the city, it's usually pretty spot on with the public transportation, like the subways and the buses.
All right, that's fair. I mean, it's good, but it's not as good, I think.
You know what? I have one complaint about Apple Maps is that when you're taking the subway in New York City, it doesn't tell you where to enter. It tells you generally where it is. So whenever I get to the area, I don't know where the entrance to the subway is.
That's completely fair. You don't know the corner or the specifics.
So that's a problem.
It has multi-stop route planning, so you could put in multiple stops if you're doing a trip. Like when I go on vacation, it helps me road trip a lot.
I think both can.
But I think the integration's easier. I don't know. This is me saying this too. But I do think Google Maps has inaccurate time predictions. Usually arrive before your arrival time.
But that's good though. That's like a plane ride.
Depends how you're planning, right?
But that's like a plane ride. They over exaggerate. Wait, they
overshoot the time that you arrive so that you're happier when you get there.
Over deliver. Under promise and over deliver.
There you go.
There, that's it. So the planes will always say 30 minutes later than when you actually are going to arrive.
Yes, that's fair. It gives you more of a window. The argument for Apple Maps, it has better privacy. So Apple emphasizes not tracking users' location history or personal data like Google does.
I don't buy that.
Take all my information. I don't care.
I don't buy that at all.
Do you not buy it or you're just not in on privacy?
I don't buy it. I think everyone's lying.
Yeah, I think everyone's selling our information everywhere.
I think that if Apple really needed our information, they could get anything they want.
Yeah.
And Google. Same with Google.
I do. Apple Maps is seamlessly tied into the iPhone. especially features like Siri, your calendar, contacts, CarPlay, and Apple Watch.
Yeah.
So kind of get the whole like Apple environment alongside with Apple Maps.
That's why I use it generally, because it's on my iPhone and everything is tied into it.
People say it's a more beautiful design, which I don't know how much I agree with it. I mean, it's pretty. They definitely upgraded over the years.
I don't know if this is a bias because I use it all the time, but I think it's cleaner.
Yeah.
But I don't use Google Maps. So.
And then they also have turn-by-turn enhancements. So like it tells you which lane to be in. I think the visual is a lot better and more kind of, cater to someone telling you directions rather than just like the specifics.
Interesting. Okay.
So the public opinion, there's two statements that I have here. Using Apple Maps instead of Google Maps is a sign of low intelligence. So you're dumb because you use Apple Maps over Google Maps. Okay. A lot of people are saying it. I didn't say it. My girlfriend tells me all the time.
Is she Apple or Google?
She's Google, but I use Waze, and I still don't think she likes that. And then someone else commented and said, who the F uses Google Maps if you have an iPhone? Which is what you said before.
Yeah.
Like, why would I download an extra app when it's already integrated into my app?
I think that Google users are Android people. That's my take of the day.
Yeah? Yep. There it is. All right.
They want to be better than the Apple users.
That's fair.
The Google users definitely made this argument.
You think so?
I don't think Apple users care about arguing it.
You think they're picking the fight?
Yes.
Apple's like, yeah, we have all the apps on our platform. You could use whichever one you want. They're more for the people.
Exactly.
I think I'm still taking Google Maps.
That's fine.
We want to hear what you think too, so let us know.
I also don't think there's too much of a difference.
I think
it's probably the same. It's probably like generally like,
I don't know, people are passionate. It's like
different.
the Starbucks versus Dunkin'. There's like a lot of those debates that just exist in the history of the internet.
I'm a Dunkin' guy.
Yeah, I am too.
Never had Starbucks or Dunkin' coffee yet, though.
You can't pick a side.
Yeah, but I like, Dunkin' Donuts has the best hot chocolate.
Okay.
And hash browns.
You're a child sometimes. It's awesome.
I haven't had the coffee.
You're like, you have the donuts there? They're
great. I'm going to get another coffee today.
Okay.
Just feeling a little kooky today. Okay. I wanted to talk about a hypothetical that I saw. I forget the name of the podcast, but it's the two. This is gonna be a horrible description. It's the two guys.
Okay.
I don't know. I forget.
What do? They talk to each other.
They're like us.
They debate.
The one guy's really, really dumb.
Okay.
Is a pretzel a chip? They used to ask that question.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever. They're great. You know who they are.
If
I told you who they were. Would the world be harder if you only had 30 flight credits for life, or if there is no Mexican or Italian food?
Which one would the world be harder?
Which one would make your life harder?
I think the 30 flights for life.
That's or no Mexican or no Italian food?
I mean, there's other food options, but there's only one way to travel in the air and get places efficiently, especially in the business that we're in.
You're right.
Like we've taken probably 6, 7, 8 flights this year already.
You're right. But we probably ate Mexican and Italian food all the time there.
Exactly what I ate growing up. So was just solely Italian food.
So 30 flights. I'm going to take this as to and from counts as one.
Okay.
So 30 trips. That means you can only take one trip every other year for the rest of your life. Basically, if you live another 60 years.
Okay.
Okay. That's a long life, good life.
Mm-hmm.
The no Italian or Mexican food means no pizza, no tacos, no burritos, no bowls, no chips and salsa, no guac, no mac and cheese, no pasta, no nachos, no quesadillas, and no guacamole. I think I said that already.
Yeah, I mean, it would be tough because the two things I eat now are Italian food and Chipotle.
Yeah.
So my life
Chipotle
would become extremely difficult. But I think you're taking away a mode of transportation that is the sole way to transport distances quickly.
But a lot of our travel is on the East Coast. No, like if we did have to go to South Carolina that one time when we went, we could have drove.
Yeah, but it's going to take like 13 hours.
Road trip.
Like that. Or 9 hours?
I think it would take 9 hours.
Yeah.
10 hours.
But still, like it's more inconvenient. And now that I think about it, like door to door traveling on a plane, even if the flight's 2 hours, it still takes like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. Door to door, if we travel to South Carolina, the flight was what, an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Boarding takes half an hour. Going there, waiting. It's probably like a 5 hour door to door.
Yeah. So actually,
it's not that bad.
I still think I'm taking the planes because I think anywhere on the West Coast, like we wouldn't have been able to go on any of those trips over to Europe. We didn't go to Europe together.
Saudi Arabia.
Is that in Asia?
That's in Asia.
Okay, in Asia. So yeah, like we wouldn't be able to do those experiences. And I got a girlfriend. She likes to travel. I'm getting into the travel game. Look, I can't do that. Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of sucks for the food.
I know. But there's other food out there, Brian.
Like what?
Greek food. Greek diet's a great diet.
It is.
It's very healthy for you. Mediterranean food?
Yeah.
Is that Greek food?
That's Greek.
Okay.
Well, Greece is in the
Okay.
Is in the Mediterranean.
Tzatziki sauce.
So just Greek food. So just Greek.
No, but
Chinese
food. Oh, Japanese food.
So you can't eat half of it.
I can't eat
probably
half of
three
it,
quarters of it.
Yeah, but
All right. Well, the plane would definitely make it tougher, but the food would make it less fun, I think.
No, okay, that's fair.
Do you have fun when you eat?
Usually, yeah. It depends what I'm doing. Like if it's like I ate the chocolate upstairs, you have chocolate sitting all around upstairs.
It was Easter yesterday.
I ate way too much chocolate already, but I had fun doing it.
I know.
But I know in my head that I'm like, the devil on the shoulder. It's like, don't eat more, and I'm like, I need.
Yeah, but like you haven't gotten fat at all, so you eat pretty much whatever you want. So it's
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
It really doesn't.
Speaking of consuming things, this is in the beverage category. Have you heard of the Mountain Dew conspiracy theory?
The Mountain Dew? No, I haven't.
You haven't? This one's fun.
Let's hear it.
Well, not really fun because it's bad.
Okay.
So every time Mountain Dew makes a marketing push for a new drink or a new flavor that they have, it coincides with a world event that typically isn't that great.
That's terrifying. Let's hear it.
So Mountain Dew Code Red came out in 2001.
I know what event happened then.
3 months later, after it came out, 9/11 happened.
Okay. This is not good.
Maui Burst, kind of one of their more recent flavors.
Okay.
Right after they dropped that, 3 months later, the wildfires happened in Maui.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy.
You ready for this one?
Ready.
The Star Spangled Splash came out last year. Do you know who wrote the Star Spangled Banner?
No idea. George Washington.
No. Francis Scott Key. Brian?
I don't know what that means.
What bridge fell last year in Baltimore? The Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Oh.
Yes!
That's 3 months after?
Kind of immediately after that one.
That's crazy.
They have another one, Pitch Black. A few years ago, we had a blackout in the IT world. July 19, 2024. Various IT systems around the world experienced an outage. Guess what happened?
Mountain Dew dropped it and it went dark.
Yes, Mountain Dew dropped it and it went dark. Another one, Tropical Swirl. Crazy hurricanes that wouldn't end in Southeast America just a few months after they dropped that flavor.
It's crazy that it coincides with the flavor name.
So now the new flavor is Purple Thunder. What do you think's going to happen?
Purple Thunder?
Purple Thunder?
We're probably going to get a really bad storm in...
What's a purple flag?
Maybe it's like a purple flag or something. I'm colorblind. I don't see purple. I don't know a purple flag.
Okay.
Somewhere that has a purple flag.
Okay.
That's not good.
Yeah, so every single time they announce something is crazy. Now here's taking the theory 2 steps further. You ready? So PepsiCo owns Mountain Dew.
Yes.
Pepsi in the past once worked with the CIA to overthrow the Chilean government.
What?
So now we have to ask ourselves, does the CIA work with Pepsi to do the things they want?
They might.
They're manipulating and they're hinting through their Mountain Dew flavors. Yeah, time to think, Brian.
It is.
Why don't you think about that one?
Why'd
they overthrow the Chilean government? That doesn't make any sense.
They also, I just looked it up, they're dropping a Mango Rush flavor.
Yeah.
That might be a flub.
It literally might be.
And you can only get it at Little Caesars.
Ooh.
So where are the most Little Caesars, Zach?
Did you look that up?
No. But we saw one in Houston, Texas.
So you think there's going to be a flood in Houston, Texas?
There might be.
This would be an incredible poll from you.
California and Houston.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yes.
Yeah. That's insane.
That's insane.
The state of California, too. Like, you're not even talking.
And Houston, Texas.
Very impressed. I'm very impressed. So Houston, watch out.
Houston has 47 stores.
You know what? With the new flavor coming out, guess what they said?
Flood.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a flood.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm sorry, Tracy McGrady.
That's why I don't drink Pepsi.
Okay. It's a weird reason. Okay, talking about Houston.
Okay.
Did you notice anyone with accents in Houston?
I don't think so. I think everyone just sounded...
Thank you. This is my take of the day.
Okay.
I've had this take for a while. I feel like some people are going to get upset, but...
Now that I think about it, there was 0 people down there that had any accent.
Exactly.
There was no Southern accent at all.
I think that all accents in the USA are made up.
You think they're just made up?
I don't think they're made up. I think they're over exaggerated.
Okay. So what are we talking? Like Southern, like Jersey?
Every accent.
Yeah.
Southern, Boston, New York, New Jersey, California, Texan, Creole, all those accents.
Creole?
Yeah, that's like Louisiana.
Isn't that a biscuit?
I don't know. All of those accents, I think, are over exaggerated. They're all made up. Like our accents. We ask people if we have an accent. They go, yeah, a little bit.
I always sound like, where do you think I'm from? And then people say all over the place, like, oh, Boston, New York, we do get. But then they say we're from like, Ohio.
Yeah, but we have like a very, 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 very slight accent. If we say chocolate or water or something like that, there's some type of accent comes out. Like the Italian influencers from New Jersey, like the Southern influencers, all of those crazy accents are made up. They're not real.
I think it's because they act to get it to be that, because it's over the top and it's insane. But like it's like an amplified role of like, if you put me in a movie, I would exaggerate the accent.
But even people that aren't influencers, even people that are just from New York, like people that we know have heavy New York accents, I think they're just faking it.
Well, I think they pretend until it actually becomes their accent.
That's not real. I do not believe it. I do not believe that a full New York accent is a real thing.
Well, I'm thinking like even my parents don't have an accent.
They were born in New York. They were born in where? Queens?
Yeah, Queens and Brooklyn.
They should have an accent, hypothetically. They do not have an accent.
No, not at all. I mean, maybe, again, some words that they say, but like having an accent, can we take this overseas? Is the British accent fake?
So that's my, like, that's where I step over the line. I don't know if that's made up.
Okay.
I think that might be real. Okay. That might be actually how they speak. Because I think that long of a distance, if you have to take a plane there, I think then it becomes real.
Okay. But everyone else is faking it.
Everyone else is fake. Like people from Germany trying to speak English, that's obviously real. Mm-hmm. But if English is your first accent and if you live in the United States, why don't you just talk normal?
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people do, but there's some people that just don't.
People that have Southern, you know what's the worst? Boston accents. that is fake. It's fake. It's not real. Like Brianna Chicken Fry and Grace O'Malley, they talk normal,
and then they turn it on. They want to, because
but
they are pretending.
Act. Yeah. It's an act.
I didn't know you'd be so passionate.
I hate it. It's literally one of my biggest pet peeves. That's not your voice. Stop faking.
Yeah, I mean, I went down to Maryland. I feel like I lost more of my accent. Like before we went,
you didn't have an accent.
You look back at some of our the movies that we made as kids. I had a little bit of an accent.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, I don't have those clips so much anymore. But
a Colombian accent?
No. My little New Jersey Italian accent.
Yeah. But my point from the Houston thing was we've traveled to multiple places all over the country: California, Las Vegas, New York, Boston, Florida, Texas, all these places. Nobody really has an accent besides like that 1 to 5% of people.
Yeah.
And those people are fakers.
I feel like also everyone in this country is just from New Jersey or New York. That's kind of what I found out. You go to LA and they're like, oh, I'm from New York. You go to Florida, everybody moved here from New York.
Everyone has a tie to New Jersey or New York.
Yeah.
I think
we're the heartbeat, the pulse of
we're the
America.
Armpit. We're the armpit of America.
Armpit.
And the heart.
The armpit is kind of by
it's
the
close.
Heart.
Exactly. New Jersey's the armpit. I think New York might be the heart.
Give us some credit. I saw something the other day that really shocked me.
Okay.
I love my transitions. I feel like I'm getting worse at them.
Such a good transition.
Did you know there's a TikTok with 7 billion views?
Yes, I do.
Did you see it?
Oh, what was it?
I don't even know how that's possible. There's 8 billion people in the world. How do you have 7 billion views on a TikTok?
Does it count? No, there isn't even that many users on TikTok.
No, there's not.
Does it count if you view it again?
If you view it again, then yes, it'll continue to add up and run. No, which I like get it, but 7 billion is like an inconceivable number.
I know.
Like the most viewed TikTok before that was less than 1 billion views, or maybe just at 1 billion.
I think it was the Bella
That might have been one of them.
I think that had like 1 billion views.
What happened to her?
She's probably rich.
Yeah, she probably is. Do you have any guesses for what the video was?
I know what it is. I just forget. It's more recent, right?
It's just so random. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's more recent.
Yeah.
Was it a trend?
It's not even like a physical person sitting in front of the camera in the video.
Oh, I was going to say, is it like that like Indian village that do those games?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Trump.
Yeah.
Biden.
Yeah, those.
America.
They, like, kick the soccer ball and then they get rewarded with like a chicken sandwich.
What's the guy's name?
Matt likes them.
Yeah, there's the one kid. He never loses, but apparently he's kind of fallen off.
Okay, moving on.
So the video, I have no idea where it is, but it's on top of like some mountain. It's snowing. There's like a Chinese architecture building. Kind of looks like a dojo.
Okay.
It makes zero sense.
It's
snowing outside. That's it. And it's got a little song behind it. I could send you the link. Do you want to watch it?
We're having trouble playing this video. Please refresh.
I think you got to do it on your phone. So they had 1.7 million likes, which is a horrible ratio for 7 billion views.
That's insane.
275,000 comments and 18.5 million shares.
I mean, it's a peaceful video.
It is pretty peaceful. We'll overlay it on the podcast.
It's pretty cool.
That's it. And
it sucks they didn't get monetized from it because it's under a minute. That's horrible for 3C.
So I don't know. You think like TikTok planted this and this is like one of those things they want people to talk about to help the platform?
Genuinely no idea.
You think people actually watch that video 7 billion plus times?
I don't get it.
There's a theory out there that there might have been bought views, like purchase views to be able to drive the traffic. So think about it. If there was a $5 CPM, so $5 per 1,000 views on the video, it would have cost someone $35 million to get 7 billion views on the platform.
You think like Warren Buffett's doing it? No. Elon?
I don't think
Is Elon doing it?
Elon might. Yeah, he might have planted something.
He might just do it for a prank. I feel like he's a prankster.
It doesn't make any sense. But I'm assuming on TikTok when we post this short form clip, because when I saw videos about it, on the bottom, it'll actually show the account. Like the AI generates like the suggestion. And you could just click on it and then the video will come up. So it's crazy things going on.
It's interesting.
It's at 3SEI. They have
3Say.
3Say.
Or 3C.
And I don't even know where that is. I want to figure out where that is. It looks awesome.
3Say? Oh, that looks like Tokyo. That's
Tokyo?
my guess. Or Japan.
I couldn't find out the
Okinawa.
What was the building? Was that Chinese? Japanese?
I think it's Japanese.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Asian.
Asian?
Sure.
Okay.
For sure Asian.
There you go.
We'll talk about Asia. I want to talk about geography.
Asia?
I want to talk about geography.
I love geography. I know geography. Did you know that?
Let's see if your geography has improved or not.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
These questions came from a website called Geography Questions for Kids.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
First question, what is the world's largest continent?
The largest continent in the world
Please.
has to be Asia.
Final answer.
With Asia, final answer. I thought maybe Antarctica, but it's definitely Asia.
What's your guess?
Asia.
You're correct.
Yes. Thank you very much.
One for...
I think Antarctica's not that big.
I don't know. Never been there. That's one for one. You got 5 questions. 4 more. What continent has the most countries?
This is really interesting.
Think about it.
There's 190 plus countries in the world.
Okay, good math.
My mind wants to go Asia, but I feel like maybe not. That's the Middle East over there.
The Middle East is in Asia, yes.
Yeah. North America does not have that many countries.
This country has over 50... This continent has over 50 countries. I think it's 54.
Okay.
If I was right.
I don't
like that.
Oh, I just know Europe is like in the 40s.
You know that? How do you know that?
Because I made you guess like 19. No, I think maybe it's like 19. Oh.
It's more than 19. Zach.
Okay. I'm going to go with Asia.
Asia?
Asia. I'm going to go lock in Asia again. Why not? The Middle East, they carry.
Final answer.
It might be Africa.
Final answer.
I'll go Asia.
Incorrect.
What is it, Africa?
It's Africa.
Gosh.
1 for 2.
Okay.
All right, 50%. Which is the southernmost country in the world closest to Antarctica?
Country.
And I gave you a clue there.
Closest to Antarctica, you said.
Closest to Antarctica.
I kind of want to, I'm leaning towards Australia.
You tell me.
What's the tip of South America? Chile? Argentina? No, Argentina's up north. Like central, like...
I don't know about that one, Zach.
I'm going to lock in Argentina.
Final answer.
Chile.
Final answer.
Chile's on the side. Let's go Argentina.
Incorrect.
Is it Australia?
It is not Australia.
It's something on the South America tip, right?
Do you want me to tell you or
Yeah.
no? Do you want to guess again?
Well, I can only name so many South American
Do you want another
countries.
guess?
No. Antarctica.
It's Chile.
Chile. Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, I would have gotten it.
You're 1 for 3.
Okay.
33.33 repeating percent. You're failing right now.
Here we go.
Kids geography, you're failing.
I'm trying.
What is the northernmost country in Africa?
The northernmost country in Africa?
Yes.
I don't know. Egypt.
No.
Really?
Incorrect.
Jordan.
Incorrect. I'll give you one more guess. If you get it, I'll give you full credit.
I can only name so many Egyptian countries, especially up north.
Egyptian countries.
African.
Interesting.
Madagascar's on the east.
It's not South Africa.
Not South Africa's south.
That's true.
Nigeria.
Incorrect. You want the? You're incorrect. I've been there.
You've been there?
Yes.
Johannesburg. That's in South America.
That's in
South Africa.
You want me to tell you?
Sure.
It's Tunisia.
Tunisia.
1 for 4.
Okay.
Okay. Last one. Mm-hmm. Name 10 countries in Europe.
Okay.
I feel like this is fairly easy.
This should be relatively easy. Maybe.
Okay.
Denmark, Finland,
2,
Spain,
3,
Italy,
4,
France.
5.
I said England.
Yes. I don't know. No.
England.
6.
Or United Kingdom.
6.
I won't say Northern Ireland, all those ones, but I will say Ireland. Does that count?
7.
Okay. Germany, Belgium,
8, 9,
Greece.
10. Can you go to 15? This is for extra credit.
Norway.
11.
Did I say Denmark, Norway?
You said Denmark.
Sweden, Switzerland,
That's
Sweden.
13, 12, 13.
Latvia,
14.
and Lithuania.
15. Can you go 20?
Turkey, Hungary.
16, 17.
There's Belgium. Amsterdam.
That's
Is that
a city.
Holland. That's also a city, isn't it?
That's a city.
The Netherlands?
That's a country.
Yeah.
Is that 17 or 18?
I think 18. Slovenia.
Okay.
Czech Republic.
20.
Yeah.
You didn't name Russia.
Russia.
It's interesting.
I think of Russia as Asian.
Russia. Ukraine. Slovakia.
Oh. That's pretty good by me.
That was pretty good.
I made up for all the other answers.
No, you didn't. I was still failing.
Okay. You know what? I like food.
Me too.
If you could create your perfect fast food meal, what would it be? I want you to choose a main dish, a side, a drink, dessert, and a dipping sauce from 5 different fast food restaurants.
Oh my gosh.
So you get to combine all the fast food restaurants for this.
Everything has to be different.
Everything has to be different.
Okay.
Let's start with your main dish.
Oh my God.
Now you got to create like a good pairing of stuff here, you know?
What is it? Main, side, drink, sauce.
So main dish, side, drink, dessert, and a dipping sauce.
Okay.
I got some options to help you out if you need.
No, I don't need help.
Okay.
Can I go dessert first?
You could go dessert first.
Dairy Queen Blizzard.
That's what I noted down here. The only thing in my head that can compete. Oreo?
Oreo flavor.
Okay, that's fine. I thought maybe the Shake Shack cookies and cream milkshake.
No.
It's very good. I've had it quite frequently recently.
No. Main dish. So does Chipotle count?
Chipotle counts.
Okay. Burrito bowl.
You're taking a burrito bowl as your main dish?
Yes.
I feel like you're going to have a tough time pairing a side, a drink.
Okay, not a burrito bowl. I'm not doing that. I was thinking burrito bowl. I'm thinking Five Guys burger. Mm-hmm. Maybe the chicken fingers from Raising Cane's.
Okay, that's not a bad pick.
I'm thinking maybe a spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
Okay. Would you go Taco Bell?
No, I would not go Taco Bell.
Crunchwrap Supreme.
Ooh, can I get I'm thinking Stack from Moe's.
No, not fast food. I'm not counting it.
But you count Chipotle?
Chipotle's way more fast food than
It's
most.
the same thing. It's the same thing.
Listen, if you want to put it there, you can.
No, I won't do it. Okay. I think I'm going to go a Five Guys burger.
Five Guys burger. Okay, now you've eliminated Five Guys fries as your side.
That's fine. Five Guys bacon cheeseburger is my main dish.
Okay.
I think that's okay.
So what are you going to go with the side?
I feel like I have to go French fries here.
You can. I mean, there's a few other options.
Like what?
Sonic has mozzarella sticks. Raising Cane's has Texas toast.
I love
throw that one in
toast.
there. It's good.
No, that's not worth it though.
Then you could go McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever fries you want.
I think I'm going to go French fries, and I think I'm going to go Arby's French fries.
Arby's, the curly ones.
Curly fries.
Wow.
Curly fries from Arby's.
They have all the meats and curly French fries.
And I get to save. I saved a lot of fast food joints.
You did. Okay, now you got a drink and you need a dipping sauce.
Drink. McDonald's Sprite.
McDonald's Sprite. That's what I wrote down that was going to be your number one answer.
McDonald's Sprite is the best Sprite in the world.
I thought maybe. For a second, maybe Chick-fil-A lemonade.
I do love lemonade.
McDonald's High C.
I love McDonald's High C fruit punch.
Not for you, but maybe for other people. Taco Bell, Baja Blast.
Stewart's root beer. Does that count?
You could have it if you want it.
I'll go McDonald's Sprite.
Okay, McDonald's Sprite. And now you just need your dipping sauce.
Dipping sauce, I'm going to go with...
You saved the options. You really did. You have
I know.
Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, Szechuan sauce. No, McDonald's, you can't do it.
I can't do it. I'm probably going to go Raising Cane sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, animal style. That's in and out. Raising Cane sauce.
Don't throw the image on there because we'll get copyrighted.
Yeah, we'll get copyrighted. They hate us, apparently.
Okay, so you went with the Five Guys bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah.
McDonald's French fries?
Arby's French fries.
Arby's French fries. Your drink, a McDonald's Sprite.
Yep.
Your dessert, a Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Yep.
And your dipping sauce, Raising Cane's dipping sauce.
Perfect.
That's a pretty good meal.
I might change the Five Guys burger to like something else, but I like the burger. I might go like a Popeye spicy chicken sandwich.
Okay,
but those are top 2.
That's all right. I have a piggyback off that question.
Piggyback time.
Yeah.
DB.
Double Zach topics.
Double Zach, DZ.
If fast food restaurants had a crossover episode, what 2 restaurants would you combine together?
Like every item, or like you want me to pick one specific item?
I think you should pick the best collaboration and then tell me one specific item from that menu.
I think that the best collaboration... Well, I think sauce, but that wouldn't be like a collaboration.
Yeah, that's kind of like a compliment to something, right?
Yeah.
But like think about like putting Popeye's chicken in a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Or like Chick-fil-A waffle fries with a Shake Shack milkshake. or Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Chick-fil-A waffle fries. Oh, God.
Yeah. I wrote down some options just to help you out.
What about
Wendy's Baconator with Five Guys fries?
Yeah, no, that's great. What about like Raising Cane's chicken?
Put it in a burrito.
I was saying you put it in a bowl and then use Raising Cane's sauce as the top of the bowl.
Oh, so like Chipotle though?
Yeah, like a Chipotle bowl with Raising Cane's fried chicken chopped up.
Yeah,
and then like the Raising Cane's sauce on top.
I mean, that sounds good.
And then the Texas toast on the side.
I just don't know how the fried chicken would do with the bowl.
I think it would be more like a salad. Like a buffalo chicken salad like I got the other day. Delicioso. It was fried chicken.
That's fair. Chick-fil-A nuggets and a Subway cookie. Just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, that just makes sense. That makes sense. I'm trying to think maybe like a, what place has good buns?
Buns.
Like a...
what about like the Texas toast as your buns for some sort of sandwich?
Well, you know, I'm trying to think of a restaurant that lacks something where In-N-Out lacks French fries. So if I just put the Wendy's or McDonald's French fries at In-N-Out, it would be great. That would be a top tier fast food restaurant.
Also, if In-N-Out had bacon, they just automatically shoot up the rankings.
Yeah, they would shoot up
But they
the
just
rankings.
refuse to make a bacon cheeseburger.
They refuse to make a bacon cheeseburger. Yeah.
What about a Popeyes chicken sandwich with Chick-fil-A sauce or Raising Cane sauce?
Yeah, that would be
instead of the spicy sauce, you
Chick-fil-A
got
sauces too.
Chick-fil-A sauce on a Popeye sandwich.
I don't hate that. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
It's a Tuffy Lehman's right there.
Maybe we'll lean on the
Do you
people.
know who Tuffy Lehman's is?
I don't know.
He's a Giants legend.
Is he?
Tuffy Lehman. What a name. One of the best names of all time in
Who
sports.
says that? Where'd you get that from?
People at the Giants say it.
Okay.
So now I say it. And now people are going to say it. That's a Tuffy Lehman.
Tuffy, because I heard you said it. It's
Tuffy Lehman.
Heard you say it before.
Tuffy Lehman played sports. I want to talk about sports.
All right, let's get into sports.
We like to talk about sports.
Yeah.
Would you consider these sports a sport or an activity?
Okay.
Okay.
Esports, not a sport.
Well, that's going to be on the list. So
figured.
esports.
Esport, I'm going to say not a sport.
Not a sport.
No, I think
I agree.
But I don't think it's an activity either.
I think it's an activity. What
Like
is it then?
I don't know, hobby?
It's considered activity/game.
Okay.
That's
because
what it
I think
is.
it does take skill. Like people can be significantly better than other people, but it's not a sport. A sport involves like getting sweaty, running around,
Okay.
having fun with the
What about pool
pool.
/billiards?
See, I think pool and billiards is a sport.
That's an activity.
That's an activity.
I think it is.
Maybe it is.
You don't get sweaty in pool.
No, you don't, but at least you're moving around the table. You got to line up the shots. You need flexibility to be able to stretch across the
So
table.
you think that's a sport?
I think you could physically be built better for pool. You can't physically
physically?
Yes, I think you can. If you're longer, if you're taller, if you got good statures, good balance.
I don't know, Zach.
You don't have to balance when you're playing esports.
You're right.
Yeah, but pool, you're leaning over the table. You got to, move certain ways. You can be flexible.
So you'd consider it a sport?
I would consider it a sport. I would.
Wow. Okay. What about bodybuilding?
Such an activity.
So that just goes against what you just said.
Yeah.
You can be built for bodybuilding, and you get sweaty during bodybuilding.
No rhyme or reason. I just think that's like, listen, you go to the gym. Now, wait. Bodybuilding.
Yes.
Not just lifting weights. Lifting
No.
weights is an activity. Bodybuilding,
Is an activity.
yeah, maybe it is.
I think that sports have to involve like at least one. It has to have a score.
Okay.
There has to be a winner, right? Crowned based not off opinion, but based off of like actual talent and scoring purposes in the game.
Okay. That's a fine definition.
But that would put aside like snowboarding because that's basically opinion based.
yeah, to an extent. Gymnastics, all that stuff.
I don't know. Is bodybuilding a sport?
I'm going to say no. I'm
Okay.
gonna say you're changing your body though, but it's a close argument, but I'm going to say no.
So it's an activity.
Yeah, it's more like a hobby.
Okay. What about darts?
But you get scored in it, so it's tough.
What about darts?
Darts is a sport.
I feel like this is going against everything we're saying.
Yeah, I'm no rhyme or reason. I'm just saying it.
All right, just say
I'm
things
just thinking
now.
darts, like you're throwing an object. So it's
Precision.
like, I feel like you need a ball or something to make it a sport, right? Something physical that you're using.
You think?
Kinda.
So you need something not outside of your body.
Maybe, but then I'm like, gymnastics is definitely a sport, but like the balance beam. Like
That brings
you
me
need-
to the next one. Is cheerleading a sport?
Cheerleading is a hobby.
God. Cheerleaders are going to hate you.
I don't know what I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't really have a definition for this. I feel like I wish I was more prepared.
It's tough luck, buddy.
You asked me to think off the top of my head.
know.
And I physically can't do it.
the point
I'm
of the
not-
podcast.
Yes, it is.
Golf.
Golf is a sport.
You think?
Absolutely. 10,000%. I watched a kid yesterday, Brian, and play with him. Antonio, if you're listening, good on you. Hit a ball 360-yard drive downwind into an environmental area.
So that brings me to my next question. Do you consider players in golf athletes?
Of course I do.
Because PGA players were asked this last week, or live players, and they said they're not athletes.
No, they are athletes.
They said
look at Brooks Koepka.
They said we're not sweating out there.
Look at Tiger Woods.
We're not doing much.
Yeah, but the flexibility, like you, there's so many aspects to the game.
I would consider them athletes. I would consider golf a sport, but they said themselves that they're not athletes.
There's a ball. You got to put it in the hole.
Look at John Daly. Is he an athlete?
He is an athlete. He's blessed.
Okay, what about bowling?
Bowling is definitely a sport. Absolutely.
Everything that you like to do is considered a sport now.
It has to be a sport. There's a ball, you got to score. There's a whole system.
Is fishing a sport?
Fishing is a hobby.
It's literally anything that you just like to do.
Oh, I could catch the bigger fish. But it's so...
Oh, I could bowl the better strike.
How could you be a better fisher than other people? Like, if you could all catch the fish, it's fine.
It takes talent fishing.
Yeah, but like finding the areas and
setting the hook.
It's like way too...
Setting the hook, reeling in the bait.
Yeah, reeling in is
leading them on.
Now, I mean, look how many people go out and they just, go fishing for the hell of it.
So it's an activity.
Yeah, it's an
activity. Look how many people go bowling for the hell of it.
It's most people, but...
Look at all the people going golf for the hell of it.
It's
like 99% of people.
People play basketball and other sports. So
yep. What about chess?
Chess is not a sport.
Yeah, that's not a sport.
Yeah, it was you stand behind a table, making decisions on where to move.
I think we can agree on that one. And then the last one, what about poker?
Poker. Not a sport.
If you don't say that.
No, I had to think about it for a second. It's definitely not a sport.
If you said chess isn't a sport and poker is, that would have been a little concerning.
Yeah, I guess it would have been.
But you didn't.
No, I did not. Ooh.
But golf is a sport.
Golf's a sport?
Everything else on that list,
definitely a sport. Pete Weber. Chris Barnes.
Who do you think you are? I am. You got to get him on the pod.
Oh, I would love him.
What's his name?
Pete Weber.
Oh, that's Pete Weber.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Pete Weber.
Yeah. Come
on the pod.
All right, I don't have any transition for this, so we're going to... Actually, you know what? We're going to go into more juicy stuff.
Juicy stuff.
Is P-DIDDY responsible for these...
Is that really what you're going to say?
Yes.
What?
There's a theory out there. I need you to hear.
Go.
Is P-DIDDY responsible for these celebrity deaths?
Jesus.
So there's been a bunch of celebrities that allegedly P-DIDDY might have had killed or killed himself.
Okay. That's insane.
Let's start with Kim Porter, his ex-wife.
Probably.
So Kim Porter wanted to escape the marriage, but she needed blackmail to be able to do it.
Okay.
So she found some tapes and evidence from the Diddy parties, successfully got a divorce, and then she died just a few years later.
How'd she die?
Pneumonia. This is the key theme here, all right?
Okay, I'm interested.
Every single person that Kim Porter dated and talked to after the marriage died of pneumonia.
Damn.
Then Kim Porter dies of pneumonia. It's really hard to say.
They have some weak immune systems.
No, I don't think they do
either.
She moved on. She started dating all these people. That's not a coincidence.
My answer to all of these is yes, P. Diddy did it.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince me. I think he did all of it.
Apparently, there's a chemical that mimics pneumonia, and it's like a poison.
He definitely did it.
Yeah.
So maybe he didn't do it himself, but he was definitely involved.
So people went a little bit deeper. You ready?
You don't have to convince me.
Jamie Foxx, a few months ago or a year ago, got really sick.
Okay.
Literally almost died.
From pneumonia.
He had a comedy special come out where he mentioned and made fun of P. Diddy multiple times within it. P. Diddy didn't want this truth going out there because this is before he was actually accused of it.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx gets sick.
Pneumonia.
Pneumonia. What's going on over here?
P. Diddy's doing it.
Brittany Murphy. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah, he killed her.
Yeah, Brittany Murphy.
He
you
killed
actually
her.
know who that is?
I saw a video on it like last night.
Yeah,
he killed her.
She's in 8 Mile.
He definitely killed her.
Brittany Murphy. Bernie Mac died from pneumonia. Val Kilmer recently died from pneumonia.
Val!
I don't know why that would happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
He had throat cancer.
Yeah, maybe he died.
So he probably had
actual pneumonia.
Stonewall Jackson.
The ghost of Stonewall Jackson.
Stonewall Jackson and Colonel Sanders, the KFC guy. Like the actual guy. I just threw those two in there.
Oh, okay.
There was a website that mentioned all people who died from pneumonia. I thought Stonewall Jackson was a big one.
The ghost.
Yeah.
He made it to the Anchorman movie. No, I think P. Diddy you know what? I don't want to accuse the guy, but he's been accused.
You might be poisoned if
maybe he didn't do it. Maybe he didn't do it.
That's maybe he didn't. One to look.
Yeah.
Stonewall
There's
Jackson.
also a bunch of things that like tied Jay-Z to all that too.
There's a lot going on. But I think there's way too many celebrities who have a lot of money that are dying from pneumonia, which I didn't think people really even died from.
Yeah.
But if you're immunocompromised.
What?
If you're how do you say
I don't know what you're saying.
immune.
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what you're saying.
Like your immune system is compromised. It's called I can't say it.
Jesus.
So let me see if immuno.
You might have pneumonia.
I might. Yeah. Immunocompromised.
Okay, Zach. Let's drop it. Let's move on.
I got it. No, I can't say it.
P-Diddy's a weirdo. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Correct or incorrect?
Yeah, well, I got to watch more woo up videos after this.
What's woo up?
He's the kid.
Oh.
DDG.
Okay, yeah. He's a weirdo. Correct or incorrect?
That is correct.
I want to talk about people being weird.
Okay.
How old is too old to do these things?
All right, here we go.
How old is too old to go to a nightclub?
I think
like a
and we're not talking like special occasions, because I feel like if you're like 35 years old, bachelor party, you
no,
should.
That's fine. Okay. I'm saying like on just a random Saturday night, you and people go to a nightclub.
Yeah, I think it's more sad the older you get, and I think 35 is the cutoff. That's what
I don't hate that. I think in Miami, people go out in their 50s to literal nightclubs.
Yeah, but
like
to me,
60s.
That's weird, because like, why are you there? You're there for the younger people.
It's weird. It's
people
weird.
watching. It's gross.
It's weird.
I think if you're 35, like you could be single and you could go to the club. Are you going to meet a girl at the club? Is that like the best spot to meet a girl?
Probably
No,
not.
But like, you know, if you're trying to meet people, make friends, and you know, you're 35 years old, feel a little lonely.
Does the scenario change if the nightclub is where like a famous DJ or act is performing?
Yeah, I think that's allowed. You're definitely allowed
if it was a Tiesto
or a Diplo, like go out and perform at a nightclub, like you could go. I do think though, like once you're married, this is like kind of cut off life.
But bachelor parties, you're fine.
Bachelor parties should be the last hoorah. It should be okay. I'm going to do this for one last time.
But you get the last hoorah multiple times if you go to multiple bachelor parties.
That's true. I guess that's your escape. You're allowed to do that, but that's the only exception. Like outside of that, it should be the last time.
How old is too old to live with your parents?
How old is too old to live with your parents? I'm going to say, I think like once you're 30, it's toast.
Do you think toast? I don't think toast.
I think toast. Depending on your financial situation, but if you have your job and you can afford a place, you should not be living with your parents by 30 years old.
I think 40 is the cutoff.
40?
Yeah, I think you can. Like I think people think it's a little weirder and weirder every age you go up past like 27, 28, 29. Like 30, everyone's like, oh, you still live with your parents. 31, they're like, oh, you still live with your parents?
I disagree.
And then it just gets weirder.
I think it's more of like once you're 25, you should be out of there. For most people. But
most people.
You could save money if you just get a job, like whatever, that's fine. Like you moved out last year.
35. That's my answer.
35 is high, man.
35.
I think that's
I think you can if you want to.
I think like it's okay to go back home if you need to for a little bit to go live at home and save more money because you're not in a great spot.
Fair.
But if you make it like a permanent thing, it's way too much.
How old is too old to date a person below the age of 25? So 18 to 25.
That's a great question. 18 to 25?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think if you're 25 years old, you could date up to 33 and it wouldn't be that weird. Like I could imagine it.
All right. So then,
but you had to have met after that age. Like you can't be. I guess it would be like 25 dating 18.
So how old is too old to date an 18-year-old?
Yeah. Oh, I would probably say.
I think 22.
Yeah, I was gonna say that person's going and they're in college. It's a completely different life. 4 years, 22, you graduate, stay out of it.
Yeah, I think senior year of college, you could potentially date a freshman, I guess.
Yeah, and then
is that weird?
That's it's going to be a little weird, but I think like if it were to happen and that was the case, I wouldn't be like gross.
I don't know. I've never gone.
People are in college, but like it's is that relationship going to last? I don't know.
I've never gone off the beaten path of like more than 6 months actually outside of my age. I don't think maybe like insane. 8 months younger or 8 months older. Yeah. That's the furthest I've gone.
My parents are 3 years apart though. How far apart are your parents?
I think like 6 months or like a year maybe.
Okay. So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My parents are 3 years apart. I don't think it's weird at all. Because as you get older, it's fine. But like for an 18-year-old, it's like no. Like after they graduate college, if it, like people met or they went to the same college and they re-linked up and like both of you have jobs, totally fine. Like 22 and 26, I'm like, all right, that's cool.
That's fine.
Yeah, like you're an adult then.
You're an adult then.
Yeah, and once you're an adult,
but
when you're in college, you're still a kid.
How old is too old to go on spring break?
Like after college.
Now I'm talking a full-on college spring break trip to Cancun,
That's
Miami,
your senior
whatever.
Year, and you're done after that.
I totally
There's
agree.
nothing like if you're trying to relive the college life by going back after you have your own job, you're back on your feet.
Even like, all right, so say you graduate at 22 years old, you're at spring break, your senior year, right?
Okay.
That next year, 23, it would be weird to go back.
It would be so weird. I went back to my campus for homecoming like 2 years after college. Yeah. I felt so out of place.
Yeah, I
feel like an old man.
How old is too old to go to homecoming?
I think like you got 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. Well, 2 years, but then you could go back like 20 years later and it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Like there's like a balance because then you're like passionate about the school and it's like whatever. But you know, to go to homecoming for college, like 5 years out and like you're going to the bars and like hanging out with all those 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, it's just weird.
Oh, illegal. Can't go to the bars at 18, 19, 20.
Depends what.
How old is too old to go to a music festival?
I'm going to say you should stop at like 25.
You think? You don't think we could go to music festivals?
I don't think we should. I mean, we're working them when we go.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you're passionate about the artist, but like if you're talking to Coachella or like when Firefly was around, like to me, that's a little bit more of like, maybe I'll say 30.
I think you can go to music festivals until you're pretty old, to be honest.
I just think like going out and then like camping out there, like if you go when you're over 30, like get a hotel.
Well, I also
like you're going for the music, not for, you know, just camp out with a bunch of like younger people.
I agree with that. Camping, I think, is like 30 and younger, mainly like young 20s. And then I think after 30, if you go to a music festival, I agree, get a hotel. Like if we went to Gov Ball this year, it would not be weird at all. If we went to Gov Ball when we were like 37, it would not be weird, I don't think.
No, it wouldn't. But that's because you're going for the music. Like you're not staying, like there's no camping out at Gov Ball.
Agreed.
But like if you're like camping out and like hang, I don't know. To me, it's just like awkward. Like think about how young we were when we went.
And when we went, there was like 35, 40-year-olds next to us.
Yeah. But they were kind of cool and fun.
They were fun. They were cool.
I guess if you go with like the right group of people and you're there for yourselves, cool. Yeah. But if you're there for everyone else,
How old is too old to post mirror selfies on Instagram?
There's never an age where that's
0.
acceptable.
You should not.
Did you see? I took the straight test before. Never doing that.
Oh, I think you have actually.
definitely have at some point.
I think everyone has at some point at least.
We're at time for the podcast. That's it. 58 minutes, something like that.
Well,
what a pod! What a pod! What a podcast!
We're going to the Mets game tonight. I'm not even a Mets fan.
So apparently, I didn't show you the text. Juan Soto was chirpy last night with the people in right field where we're sitting.
Oh, let's go.
To be fair, they were speaking Spanish.
Wait, where we were sitting?
Yeah, where we're going to be sitting.
Oh, sheesh.
I got a text from the rep. Said, have the best time tonight. I heard Soto was chatty with our guests yesterday.
Let's go.
And I said, thank you. I'm like, it's going to be so much fun. I hope he's chatty again. And she said, in fairness, they were speaking Spanish to him, but he's engaged.
Let's speak in Spanish to him.
That's what.
Donde está la biblioteca?
So Matt's going to be with us, and Matt can speak Spanish to him.
Oh, like kind of.
No, he's pretty broken. Yeah, he's pretty good.
All right.
It's pretty good. That spot. Wait.
Shout out to our members, Cokes Troops, which is Christian, Thomas Flynn, Penguins 06.
You know what's funny? I think we have a new member. I've just got that feeling.
Do we?
I just have that feeling today.
Who else is there? Unknown. I
was right. We have a new member.
Who is it?
Josh Pittman. 6 days ago he joined. I don't know why. I just had a feeling.
Pittman.
Julia Kern, Abby, who's Penguins 06, Thomas Flynn, Phil the Thrill, Unknown, Simon K, Cokes Troops, Josh Pittman, the newest one. And do you remember the fake name?
I was just trying to remember.
Yeah?
I forgot.
It's not an apartment. It's a...
condo.
Okay, do you remember the first name?
Condo. Tommy Condo.
Hannah Condo.
Anaconda squeeze.
Thank you guys for being members. If you want to be a member, just go to our YouTube, click memberships, and click join.
And then go to our website for tickets to our live show in Asbury Park, New Jersey. July 26th, 7 p.m. I think it starts. House of Independence on Cookman Avenue, our hometown show.
Yeah. Look at that. This guy's dialed in, folks.
See you guys later.